Funding and support for this project has been provided by the State of Washington Department of Labor and Industries Safety and Health Investment Projects.
On behalf of the Washington Wine Industry Foundation and Labor and Industries, we would like to welcome you to Safety for Small and Medium-Sized Wineries, a Labor and Industries SHIP grant project. It is our goal to introduce you to some of the regulatory requirements to keep you and your employees safe within your winery. We hope you enjoy. Welcome to our video on Lockout Tagout. We want you to get the most out of these training videos, so just sit back and listen to the presentation as all of this information is available to you at winerywise.org under Winery Safety. During this presentation, we hope you learn what Lockout Tagout is, how it applies to you within your winery, and provide some examples of locking and tagging out equipment.
Labor and Industries provides standards for safe lockout, tagout practices and procedures. These can be found on the Labor and Industries website located at www.lni.wa.gov or through a quick internet search for Washington State Labor and Industries.
We're now going to explain lockout tagout. Let's call it LOTO.
Lockout tagout is a safety procedure for employees who may be exposed to the potential release of hazardous energy from machines or equipment during activities that require bypassing safeguards to service or maintain equipment. Hazardous energy may include electrical, hydraulic, pneumatic, or other forms of energy. LOTO devices render machines and equipment inoperative, and this enables employees to set up, maintain, and clean them without exposure to the hazards associated with the unexpected, inadvertent, or accidental operation of the equipment.
So for wineries, LOTO procedures are implemented when an employee, during setup and maintenance activities, must bypass a machine guard or other safety device, or must place part of their body into the point of operation of the equipment. I can see LOTO applying to bottling line equipment, crush equipment, cellar equipment, and powered industrial trucks.
A lockout device uses a physical means, such as a key or combination lock, to hold an energy-isolating device in the safe or off position. A tagout device is a prominent warning device, such as a tag and a means of attachment. It can be securely fastened to a lockout device to indicate warnings and who is working on the affected equipment. Whichever type of lock you choose for your winery employees, each employee must be issued their own lock, and these locks cannot be shared or used for anything else other than locking out equipment.
There is an exemption to the LOTO rule that is important to point out. LOTO is not required when the equipment has a single electrical energy source that can be controlled by the authorized employee. An example would be unplugging a transfer pump before performing maintenance on it. As a precaution, equipment that can be inadvertently plugged in or turned on by another employee not knowing the equipment is under repair should be locked or tagged out.
It's important to know that wineries must have a written LOTO program and provide documented training. This can be a section or chapter within your written accident prevention plan.
Your written LOTO plan is required to include several components. These include a list of all the employees or positions who lock and or tag out equipment, and a description of their documented training. This training should include formal instruction, either lecture or video, practical hands-on training, and a visual evaluation of the operator performing LOTO must be conducted periodically by the safety program administrator. Training must be repeated when new equipment is added, or when existing equipment is changed or modified. To help you get started, a LOTO template can be found under the Winery Safety tab at winerywise.org under Forms.
The written LOTO program and employee training must also address the actual LOTO procedures. These are steps that you take to protect employees from potentially hazardous energy. There's steps for releasing stored energy, steps to verify the machine is isolated, steps for temporary energization for troubleshooting, what to do if there is a shift or personnel change, or when multiple people are involved, such as contractors. When developing lotto procedures, a great place to find lotto information is within your equipment operations manuals.
Lockout and tagout devices must meet all of the following requirements. They shall not create any additional hazards. They should have distinctive design or appearance. They are the only devices used for controlling energy. They are not used for any other purpose. They are durable to withstand the environment they are used in for the maximum time they are expected to be used. Are standard within the facility by color, shape, and size. And they must identify the person applying the device.
Make sure lockout devices meet these additional requirements. The devices should be strong enough so that removing them by other than the normal method requires either excessive force or unusual techniques, such as using bolt cutters or metal cutting tools.
Make sure tagout devices meet these additional requirements. Use the same print and format within the facility. Are constructed so they won't deteriorate and the message remains legible when they are exposed to excess weather, used in damp or wet locations, used in a corrosive environment such as where acid or alkali chemicals are handled or stored, and have a warning about not energizing the machine or equipment. Supply companies such as Grainger supply lotto-specific equipment. Locks that identify the person applying the device typically have a place to add a name or photo of the employee that the lock belongs to.
Your written program must also include how to verify that either new or modified equipment can accept lotto devices. And remember that a documented review of both your lockout and tagout programs must be conducted annually.
It is also a good idea to maintain a log to document when lotto is being performed. The log should identify the piece of equipment and the person performing the lotto, and keep this log within your accident prevention plan. It is also a good idea to maintain an up-to-date list of all the equipment that requires lotto procedures when servicing or maintaining, and a notation as to whether the equipment is serviced and maintained by winery employees or contractors, as training on the equipment that is maintained by contractors is not required.
We hope you've increased your safety knowledge from this video and that you'll take this information back to your winery to help make it the safest place that it can possibly be. While every effort was made to ensure the accuracy of the information presented here, it is nonetheless the responsibility of each winery owner to ensure that their safety protocols and safety training are consistent with their own winery operations. Thank you for your time.